Promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me. Promise that you'll catch me.
What up, fam? It's your boy. Time to get down. Reading Rainbow. Let's do what we do. For me, you, and the crew. So you know where we start at first. Now pull up. Boom. Yeah. What up, fam? It's your boy, T3. Geek Town. Let's get down. Afro Tech Nation, you know what we do. But before we get down, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. Come talk to your boy. Absolute Wonder Woman has been by far one of the greatest and best reads of this whole thing. I cannot iterate enough how much I've enjoyed this particular series right here. This is the book 5, part 5 of Absolute Wonder Woman. So when we last left off our hero was still over the water, still over the seas, still trying to protect the city from the giant monster, from the belly of the beast, from the monster from hell that has come through. And she has already sliced it in half with the giant sword that she brought down and bringing it back into full form effect. Well, we get a flashback of when she's sitting with her mother, Circe. And her Circe is making a second rope, a second lasso. A lasso of transformation, not the lasso of hell that has the power to bind, but the lasso of transformation. This lasso is to allow her to overcome any foe at any given time to do what it needs to be done. It can hold and transform anything, no matter what it is, based on the situation, no matter what goes down. Well, she gets this particular weapon that her mother makes, but she finds it to be cruel. She finds it to be harsh. She finds it to be not understanding. She had to go fight a harpy out in the Hades to test this weapon out, to see if this weapon was going to do what she needed to do. But in doing so, she ended up having to kill the beast. And being a woman of compassion, being a woman of heart and an integrity, she didn't want to kill the monster. So she found herself conflicted, feeling like her mother had no love in her heart, no compassion. And so she was downtrodden by the weapon that her mother made for her. But her mother was trying to tell her the battles that you are going to have to fight, the things that I've seen that is you are going to have to overcome is going to be horrible. It's going to be desolate. It's going to be ugly. And at that particular time, Wonder Woman is like, but Mom, why are you this way? And she's like, look, I get it. I know I'm negative over your future, but understand that I'm trying to do what's best for you to help you survive. Well, flash forward back to the battle at hand. She's already cut the monster, but the monster is healing itself. And the Air Force decides to fly in and shoot some missiles. Well, of course, the Air Force got nothing that's going to destroy this monster completely. The monster uses its sonic blast to knock the missiles back towards the city. Wonder Woman uses her magic to knock down 2 of the missiles, but misses the third. Well, Pegasus flies in enough time to destroy that third missile. So she goes back, and you go back to her talking to her mother, asking her mother for forgiveness. I don't mean to doubt you. I don't mean to not acknowledge what you're doing for me, but I just need understanding of why you're doing these things. But while you're giving me an understanding, teach me, show me, guide me, lead me, teach me how to use this weapon. Teach me how to use this lasso of transformation. How do I use this to my best ability and knowledge? It's not a weapon I would choose for myself, but apparently you've made this weapon for me, for me for a reason. And then let me just read this small little passage here. It says, I am become her, she who is both terrible and tragic. At this particular time, Wonder Woman realizes what she needs to do with this lasso of transformation as she's tying it around her arms. And she knows that this transformation must be her. This transformation must be something that she must do. It goes on and says, cursing and curse, forever enwined in injustice, a living hell. This mangled must be I accept this. I'm sorry, excuse me. This mantle I must accept today for a greater good. And what greater good is she talking about? Sacrificing her life in hope and faith that I will once again someday be Diana of the woman of the wild islands of hell. Diana, last of the Amazons. Diana, daughter of Circe, mother not of the forgotten, but for now. Wonder Woman's getting ready to sacrifice herself as she ties this lasso. Remember, there was a sacrifice that needed to be made because she had already gave out the magic that was there to reform her arm. Well, this is the penance. So she's tying the lasso around her arm because it's getting ready to transform her into the creature that she needs to become to fight this giant monster from hell. And she becomes a giant-sized serpent-like ugly Medusa. Medusa, yes, the same Medusa that was cursed by the goddess Athena for being the more beautiful than she was, and transforming her not only into a snake-haired lady, but now to anybody she gazed upon, anybody she looked at, anybody that saw beauty in anything she had became stone. And so she goes before this monster as the new Medusa, knowing that she's going to lose herself as Wonder Woman and become the giant Hydra monster that she is going to become forever and eternity until this particular spell is broken. And she gazes upon it, and the monster looks at her in her eyes and becomes a giant mantle of stone sitting in the water. But in becoming the giant Medusa, now she is the monster, and she turned her rage towards the city. Trevor, being the man that he is, says, I gotta go out and help her. And her friends is like, you crazy. Like, why you running out there? That woman will kill you. He says, she sacrificed her very arm to allow me to make it out of the wild islands, out of the pit of hell to help me come back home. I can do no less than a man myself. And he goes out and calls out to her, Wonder Woman, daughter of Circe, last of the Amazon, greatest of heroes. And this monster, this snake head lady, you know what I'm saying? This beast that looks upon Trevor right now, you know what I'm saying? This Medusa looks down at him and sees him, but he has his eyes covered. He has a cloth tied around his face, so he doesn't look her in the face, but she sees him and she hears him and starts to transform back into Wonder Woman, a woman of strength, the Amazon, the strongest of all. Because at the end of the day, if Wonder Woman does not stand for anything else, is that love changes all. Yes, sir. And he looks at her, finally taking the cloth off his face, and he's like, I got your back. I couldn't let you stay that way. And she says, I know. And they're like, you leaving? She says, not yet. I got to go do something satisfying. And she flies back to the sky and heads back to the seas and sees the giant beast from hell laying out in the sea. She lays a giant thunderclap upon this thing and sends it into the dust and the streams and the stars, sending its fragments all over the ocean floor. Knowing that now the city is safe, all is well, things are good. Is she going to go back home? Is she going to go back to see her mother? What has she got to do next? She's like, I don't know. We'll see what happens from here. And all of a sudden, the ground opens up and a giant hand snatches Wonder Woman off the ground and pulls her back into the depths of the ground, like back to hell. But that's where the story ends. We get another book, my friends. We get another part of the series of the Absolute Wonder Woman. We thought it was only going to be 5 pieces, 5 chapters, 5 points. No, no, no! We get my Wonder Woman! Absolutely! I am here for all of that. Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, this has been one of the best 5-part chapter reads in the whole Absolute family. Absolute Green Lantern's on the way, but Absolute Wonder Woman, yo, for so far, this ending? Yes, sir. Let's do that. Bring her back. I'm ready. All right, folks, Fabulous Friday on tomorrow. What are we going to talk about? I'll let you find out on tomorrow. But until then, my friends, if you see your mans in the streets, hit them with the beats. Hit them with a jingle jangle, baby. Jingle jangle.